Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to continue reviewing and we're going to talk about solving inequalities. Now remember, the only difference between solving inequalities and equations is if we multiply or divide by a negative, we have to flip that inequality sign. And we're going to graph our solutions. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to force it to happen where we multiply or divide by a negative. So I'm going to subtract 5x. Okay? And when I subtract 5x, I'm going to get negative 2x plus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 2. Okay? And then we are going to go ahead and subtract 4 from both sides, because remember, we always get rid of our addition subtraction first. So we're left with negative 2x is greater than or equal to negative 6. That is a very large negative sign. Then we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. And remember, when we multiply or divide by a negative, that means we're going to have x is less than or equal to a positive 3. Okay, so we flipped that inequality sign because we divided by a negative. Not because this number is negative, but because both sides were divided by negative 2. Okay, and then of course, as you all know and love, we're going to graph the solution. So I'm going to draw my number line. This number will go in the middle, so we'll have a 3 and we'll put a 2 and a 4, one on each side. I know that because this is an equal to, we're going to have a closed dot. Whoops. Okay, and then it says x is less than 3. So less than 3 is going to go in this direction. Remember, we don't just go in the way the arrow is pointing. That will work half the time, but not the other half of the time. So we're really focusing on, okay, 2 is less than or equal to 3. So therefore, I want to shade the 2 side. Okay? Alright, so let's go back here, and let's try another one. So we have 2x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 2x minus 3. Again, we're going to get those variables together, and hopefully you're remembering some things from before. So we got 5 is greater than negative 3. 5 is always going to be greater than 3, so this would be all real solutions, infinitely many solutions, however you would like to say it. Okay, either of those answers would work. You could also do your all reals. Okay, if you for some reason had a graph with it, it would just show the arrow going in every direction. So maybe we had a 0, negative 1, and a 1 here. The arrow would just go both directions, or everything would be shaded. Sometimes those do pop up on multiple choice tests. Again, we have the same similar problem here. So we're going to subtract 2x, so we get 5 is less than negative 3. 5 will never be less than negative 3, so therefore this would be no solution. Okay? Alright, now, remember we had compound inequalities before. So that is when we have two inequality signs, and if you need to, you can always bringing these dashes down. Because we're doing review, I just haven't been doing it, but you by all means can. It helps keep your information organized. So remember, we're going to get rid of everything in the middle that is stopping x from being by itself. So we're going to subtract 5, and remember, we subtract from all 3 sections. Not just this side, not just this side, both sides. Okay, so then 11 minus 5 would be 6. We have 2x left in the middle. And 23 minus 5 would be 18. Whoops. And then we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by, all sides by 2, I should say. 6 divided by 2 is 3, which is greater than x, which is less than 9. Okay, and now we need to graph that. Now when I have a compound, I'm just going to put both numbers here. And I'm sorry, this was an equal to. I missed that. So this would be an open dot. I don't know why I put a 3 over here too. That should be 9. I apologize. I'm apparently a hot mess today. And this is not a closed dot. Good grief. This is an open dot. This would be a closed dot because it's an equal to. And it's saying it wants to be greater than 3 and less than 9. So I'm going to shade the middle here. Okay, so again, if you don't remember that, right here it's saying x is bigger than 3, so that's why I drew my arrow going this way. And then here it says x is less than or equal to 9, so that's why I drew my arrow here. And then I would combine them in the middle. Sometimes you will have arrows pointing outward, okay, instead of inward. It just depends on what type of problem you start with. I hope this video finds you well.